The moment the two identical men stepped onto the polished floor of the corporate atrium, dressed in tailored suits that couldn't hide the powerful frames beneath, the room seemed to hold its breath. These were the Blackwell twins, Adrian and Lucas Blackwell, world-famous karate black belts, undefeated in national tournaments, and the youngest twin CEOs to ever run a multi-billion-dollar security technology empire. When they calmly asked a quiet, broad-shouldered single-father veteran standing near the back to spar with them, a ripple of disbelief spread through the crowd. No one noticed the faint tremor in the man's hands, or the scars hidden beneath his worn jacket. No one could have imagined that what would happen next would leave hardened executives speechless and change every life in that room forever. Before the story truly unfolds, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the hidden strength inside ordinary people, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, comment below, and subscribe to the channel. And tell us in the comments where you're watching from, because stories like this connect hearts across the world. The man they had chosen was named Daniel Carter, a widowed single father and former combat veteran who now worked night shifts as a maintenance supervisor in the same building. His days were spent packing lunches for his 8-year-old daughter Emily, helping her with homework at a tiny kitchen table, and fighting silent battles with memories he never spoke about. Once, long ago, Daniel had been known for his discipline and skill, trained by the military in multiple forms of hand-to-hand combat. But life had a way of stripping titles away. After the war took his closest friends and a roadside explosion took the love of his life, Daniel returned home broken, carrying guilt heavier than his service medals. He took the first honest job he could find, not for pride or recognition, but to make sure Emily always felt safe and loved. The day Adrian and Lucas noticed him was supposed to be a celebration. The company was hosting a leadership and resilience seminar, showcasing how discipline and martial arts shaped their corporate philosophy. Executives, employees, and investors gathered as the twins demonstrated controlled power, precision, and confidence. They spoke about strength, but to them strength had always been refined, applauded, and rewarded. When they spotted Daniel standing quietly, watching not with excitement but with a distant, thoughtful gaze, something intrigued them. His posture was relaxed but alert, the stance of someone who had learned long ago how to survive. On a whim that felt playful to them, and harmless in front of cameras and colleagues, they invited him forward. Daniel felt every eye in the room the moment he stepped onto the mat. His heart pounded, not from fear of pain, but from fear of exposure. He had spent years trying to disappear, to be invisible, to protect his daughter from the ghosts that followed him home every night. Sparring was not a game to him. It was memory, loss, and responsibility all wrapped into one. Yet walking away would mean humiliation, and something deeper stirred inside him, a quiet voice reminding him that strength in use turns into regret. He thought of Emily's smile that morning and steadied himself. As the sparring began, the room expected a quick, embarrassing end. Two elite karate champions against a maintenance worker felt like a spectacle designed for laughter. But within seconds, the air shifted. Daniel did not fight with flash or aggression. His movements were economical, grounded, and deliberate, shaped by years where mistakes cost lives. He anticipated angles, redirected force, and maintained calm control. Adrian and Lucas, used to opponents driven by ego, found themselves confused by his restraint. Daniel was not trying to win. He was trying not to hurt anyone. What shocked everyone was not dominance, but balance. Daniel absorbed their speed, neutralized their attacks, and moved with a quiet authority that demanded respect. Each motion told a story of survival, discipline, and pain endured without applause. The twins began to realize they were no longer demonstrating skill, they were being taught something far deeper. Around them, laughter faded into silence. Executives leaned forward. Phones lowered. The room felt something ancient and honest unfolding. As the spar ended, there was no triumphant pose, no raised fists. Daniel simply stepped back, breathing steadily, eyes lowered. The silence that followed was heavy with realization. Adrian and Lucas, men who had built empires on confidence, felt something crack open inside them. For the first time in years, they were not the strongest people in the room, and instead of feeling threatened, they felt humbled. They learned that day that true power does not need a spotlight, and true discipline often hides in plain sight. In the weeks that followed, Daniel's life began to change in ways he never expected. The twins did not turn his story into a viral stunt. Instead, they quietly offered him support, education benefits, and a leadership role within the company's veteran outreach program. More importantly, they treated him with dignity. Daniel found himself slowly learning to speak again, to mentor young employees struggling with pressure and fear, to channel his past into purpose. At home, Emily noticed the change before anyone else. Her father smiled more. He slept better. The shadows in his eyes began to fade. Daniel still struggled. Healing was not instant. Nightmares still came, and some mornings felt heavier than others. But now he understood something he had forgotten in the noise of survival. His past did not make him broken. It made him capable. His quiet strength, once buried under grief, had become a bridge for others. And every time he tucked Emily into bed, he knew he was teaching her a lesson no words could explain, that kindness and resilience are the strongest forms of power. Just before this story ends, please comment below and tell us what this story made you feel, because your words might give strength to someone silently fighting their own battle. Near the end of the year, the company hosted another gathering. This time, Daniel stood not as a spectacle, but as a symbol. Not a hero on a pedestal, but a reminder that the world is full of unseen warriors. As the lights dimmed and the crowd applauded, Daniel thought of the man he once was and the father he had become. He realized that life had not asked him to be perfect, only present. And in that moment, surrounded by respect instead of pity, he finally forgave himself. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that every person carries a hidden story and a hidden strength, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and engage with the channel. Your support helps stories like this reach the people who need them most. Sometimes the strongest fighters are not the ones who win trophies, but the ones who wake up every day, carry their scars quietly, and choose love over bitterness. And sometimes, all it takes is one unexpected moment for the world to finally see them.